Have you ever wondered if we could travel back in time? Well, for that to happen, we'd need permission from physics, and honestly, the universe absolutely hates the idea. Think of our timeline as a perfectly straight line. Now, imagine you go back in time and start messing with it. Suddenly you get branches, loops, and all sorts of contradictions. It becomes a jumbled mess, a sort of timeline spaghetti where nothing lines up anymore. The universe runs on strict rules, and it can't stand contradictions. Then there's the infamous butterfly effect. Imagine you go back and distract a teenager at a bus stop for just 2 seconds. Then he misses his bus. That tiny change could ripple through his entire life. Maybe he grows up to be a great contributor to society, or maybe he becomes a sociopathic villain. This concept got its name from a metaphor by meteorologist Edward Lorenz. He noticed that in weather models, the smallest changes in starting conditions led to wildly different outcomes. It's like a butterfly flapping its wings in Brazil and causing a tornado in Texas. Not literally, of course, but you get the idea. Small causes can snowball into huge consequences. What if you traveled to a time before you were even born? There are 3 main possibilities, and none of them are good news. First, you could just physically appear there, but you'd have no parents, no origin. Where did your atoms come from? This violates the law of conservation of energy. Physics would basically have a meltdown. Second, you could exist as a ghost observer, unable to interact with anything. You couldn't touch, talk, or change a single thing. This makes the whole trip pretty pointless and incredibly depressing. Third, you could cause a paradox. If you do something that prevents your own birth, like stopping your parents from meeting, you'd erase yourself from existence, and logic would completely break down. The core problem is that traveling to the past asks a fundamental question. Can an effect exist before its cause? The universe's answer is always a firm no. That's why the whole idea keeps falling apart. Now, you might be thinking, but what if we're just ghost observers? Wouldn't that be possible without any butterfly effects? Well, yes, but it would be painfully useless. To be a true observer, you couldn't displace air, emit heat, or even exist as mass or energy. You couldn't touch anything, warn anyone, or even wave hello. Even then, you'd still violate another rule: information. Just by observing something, remembering it, and bringing that knowledge back, you're interacting. That new knowledge could change the future, and boom, the butterfly effect sneaks back in. Okay, so if we can't go back and change things, what about just rewinding time? Like hitting a rewind button on a video, where everything goes backward perfectly. Sounds harmless, right? But again, physics says, absolutely not. Why? Because of your conscious brain. In your mind, neurons are firing, chemicals are moving, and information is being processed. All of that is change. A perfect rewind requires every single particle in the universe to retrace its steps exactly, with no new interactions. The instant your brain thinks, whoa, time is rewinding, you've altered the state of the universe, creating another butterfly effect. What if you weren't conscious during the rewind, but became conscious after? From your perspective, it would feel like you instantly jumped back in time. You wouldn't remember the future, though. Memory is a physical process. It involves synapses strengthening and neurons wiring together. A perfect rewind would mean your memories of the future would have to unform to literally cease existing. So, in the end, it seems time travel to the past is a big no-go from the universe. If you enjoyed exploring this cosmic question with me, consider leaving a like and subscribing so we can dive into more mysteries of the universe together. Thanks for watching.